So I've realised in all my videos there might be a bit of an issue where I haven't got all 14 days. I didn't record all 14 days, I didn't always take pictures because I wanted to live in the moment, and that was like a big focus from this whole thing. So there's going to be a bit of a wibbly wobbly of like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened in other locations, emerging days and bits, but this one was super cool. We went to Nagoya. Nagoya! Super cool. We end up getting off the boat, we get to see the giant Arctic, I think it's their first boat to go to the Arctic, which is like so cool. Antarctica, sorry, and wow, that's so cool. And they had like a statue of the two dogs, which helped them get to that location, and that, wow. And we once again went against what everyone else does. We went for what, half an hour, 45-minute walk in the boiling heat. Like, one thing I want to point out, we did this in July. The heat was awful. I was dripping sweat. It's like having a sweat suit on top of me. It was awful. And we was walking so far with that. It wasn't half an hour, it was more like an hour, I'm not gonna lie. And the reason being, we went to the train museum, SCMAGLEV. Okay, I get it. I kind of like trains. I was kind of nosy. I wanted to see what's going on. Wow, love it. It's such a cool venue. The building was so stunning, so modern, so grand, and it held some of the coolest trains. I used to be into trains as a kid. I kind of like them now. I still kind of like them. I get it. But I will admit, this place is cool. I've always had a bit of a passion for Shinkansens. And to be fair, when I was in Japan last time, in 2019, did I see a Shinkansen? No. Did I ever ride one? No. It was on my bucket list. So what do? We went to see the Shinkansens. And at this point, they've got a big yellow one. The big yellow one is Dr. Yellow, and that's like super, super rare. The reason it's super rare is because it is a test train, and it's only just coming a couple of weeks beforehand. Before we arrived, it just come into their train museum. Boom. And that was so cool. They had a little stamp thing outside, and I end up kind of using a bit of paper that I tore up from my sketchbook and just collected stamps. I was really surprised how many stamp things around everywhere. That's cool. If you ever go to Japan, bring yourself a notebook, collect the stamps. There's a lot of stamps around. I seem to find a lot of stamps. But there was like so many trains, and it's really hard to describe the train place. Like, what can you say? There's a lot of trains. There's a lot of trains. And I'll be putting in this video a lot of videos about it. There's a lot of trains there, and I loved it. Like, it's so cool to see. A lot of trains I wouldn't otherwise, trains that I'd always wanted to see. Trains away a bit, I loved it. And it was such a cool place. And I really resonated with it so much. To be able to walk into them, experience them, get to explore, and kind of like get an in-depth look, and everything was so cool. So I really resonated with that place, and it really left an impact. They always had this like model railway thing, and it was super cool to see such a big model railway. Another thing I'm into, I ain't gonna lie. We did spend a lot of time there. And I really loved it. So after that, we end up kind of going, okay, you know what? We spent quite a few hours, but we wanted to make sure we left at a decent time. Why? Because we went to Nagoya Castle. And now I know a bit about Nagoya Castle. I knew that's what it's famous for, and we took many trains to get to this location because I wanted to see it. And it was so worth it. We end up getting off the train. We end up kind of making sure we're hydrating during all this. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's called Aquarius. We got Aquarius. I love it. That drink is so cool. It really helped me out so much, man. Superior hydration, best stuff in the world. When you're over there, get some. I love it. But getting to Nagoya Castle, super easy. Lots of trains, and we end up kind of exploring that. What was hilarious is a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, is it your birthday?" And I went, "No, it's not." He was carrying around these bags and asking people, "Is it your birthday? Is it your birthday?" And he wanted to give out these gifts to people. It was their birthday. But it's quite interesting. He went, "Oh, you YouTuber?" Because he saw this camera that I'm using. I use a DJI Pocket 3. And he went, "You YouTuber?" And I was like, yeah, I'm starting out YouTubing. I did other content at the time. You know, I was focusing on my VTuber streaming bits, and you know, it was quite hard to say, well, yeah, I'd do that, and then I'm going to do this. I went, yeah, I'll just do vlogging now. You know, which, you know, is what we're doing here. And it was really nice to connect with someone internationally. You know, the language barrier being a big issue again. You know, I understand that I need to learn the language. I understand my English is very hard to understand because of my accent and how fast I talk. But it's so cool to meet him. And like, it was this, what I love about the world that I never ever knew and never ever realised how connected the world is. Even if we don't understand each other, and even if we never knew each other, we can just talk to random people and connect. And it was these connections which mean a lot. So connecting with some random YouTuber who had like 12 subs or something like that, you know, was really nice. That, wow, you know, just how big the world is, how big. And I talked to this one guy doing these one YouTube videos and starting off and doing vlogging like I do. Like this, yeah, that's like that. But Nagoya Castle, massive place. It was exactly what it looked like in the pictures. And we got to explore that. There's a building outside, and it was the where they lived in bits. And it has some beautiful, beautiful, stunning art. And basically it's because it had all been burnt down. It was stunning. I'll show tons of videos because it's beautiful. I loved the environment. The environment there was so cool. You know, once again, hot, sweaty, but we got to explore, see some beautiful things. I, you know, loved the vibe, loved the energy. I really need to learn more about Nagoya Castle. The castle's stunning. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to go into the castle itself. The reason being is because of how old it is, they don't think it's safe for modern day earthquakes. So I kind of get it. I can still be grumpy about it, but I get it, you know. But I enjoyed it, you know, to see it once again, one of the most famous castles in Japan, and go, wow, you know. It's that, one thing I found a lot about Japan, about these castles and temples, is maybe because it's my westernized mind, you know, and how we, you know, what I'm used to here. It's interesting going to a completely different country like Japan and seeing things that you can't mentally compute. Like even to this day, I go like, how? That's so different to what I know and love, you know, and expect from here. But yeah, then we end up going to the boat back. You know, we didn't spend, I think we spent 2-3 hours there, which is fantastic. But obviously, you can spend all day at these places. That's the main thing. And I think that was the issue of the cruise. We left early every day, and it was like squeezing as much as we could in such a short period of time, that these short days. And I loved it, man. I was so worth it. I was so goddamn worth it. Wow. I so miss it. Nagoya was so cool, man. Nagoya was so cool. I miss it. But, yo, train museum and the castle. What two big major things to do that day, okay? Two majorly big things. And, like I say, go back under the crows and sail away into the next video.